All right, good day, students. Okay. In this section, we'll be treating or talking about coordinate geometry. Is that clear? All right. So, what then is coordinate geometry? It also has other names. So, another name for coordinate geometry is called analytic geometry. Okay. Analytic geometry. All right. And it's also known as what? It's also known as the Cartesian geometry. The Cartesian geometry. Is that clear? So these are other names of what? Of the coordinate geometry. Okay. So what then is a coordinate geometry? This can be defined as the study of geometry using a coordinate system. Okay. Defined as the study of geometry using a coordinate system. All right. So let's start with the coordinate system. If you remember your graph, we have the x and the y axis. So we have the y axis with the vertical axis. We also have the x axis, which is what? The horizontal axis. Now take note, the upper part is called the positive y axis, and the lower part is called the negative y axis. Okay? While the right hand side we have the positive x axis. Is that clear? And here we have the negative x axis. Okay, so the point where the two axes meet, that's 0, 0, is called the origin. Is that clear? It's called the origin. Okay, so if you remember how to plot your graph, you understand you start with, you have a scale. Okay, you don't have a scale. Alright, or you're given a scale to follow. So let's assume that here is 1, okay, here is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have 7, okay. This is a positive y, then here will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8. This is negative y. So on the positive x, we have 1, that's plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. Then on the that's the positive x rather. Then on the negative x, we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, and minus 6. Is that clear? So remember to plot your graph. So how do we now represent a coordinate? So we have the x coordinate and the y coordinate. Is that clear? That's why sometimes this kind of diagram is also called the xy plane. Is that clear? It's sometimes called what? The xy plane. Okay, so we have the x coordinate and your y coordinate. So how do we represent a coordinate? So if you have a point on the graph, or a location or a point on the graph, so you draw something like this, x, comma, y. What does it mean? It simply means you need both the x-axis and the y-axis to locate, or the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate to locate what? To locate a point on your Cartesian plane or your graph. Is that clear? So we have x and we have y. So for instance, if you have 2, 4, what simply means that we have your x coordinate to be 2, then your y to be 4. Then if you have 3, 6, that means you have your x to be what? X to be what? 3, and your y to be 6. Then if you have 5, minus 4, that means you have your what? Your x to be positive what? 5, and your y to be what? Negative what? Negative 4. Okay, so let me name this one point A, this point B, and this point C. Is that clear? Alright, so how do we locate our point ABC on the graph? Is that clear? So this is how to represent your coordinate. So how do we locate the point ABC on the graph? So point A says 2, 4, meaning we have 2 as the x coordinate and 4 as the y coordinate. So you go to your graph. So where is 2? On the x-axis is positive 2. So this is a positive x-axis. This is a positive x-axis. So this is going to be your 2. Is that clear? Then your y is what? 4. So this is your 2. Your y is what? Positive 4. So this is the positive y-axis, negative y-axis. Alright, so the y is positive 4, that's the y-axis. So here is it, positive 4. Exactly. So the point where the two coordinates meet, exactly, you draw a line, represent the position of A. Okay, so you draw a straight line. Then you draw another one upward, okay, like this. Okay, okay. All right. So the point where the two coordinates meet, that's your 2 for x, your 4 for y, represent the position of what? A, which is what? 2, 4. Is that clear? Now let's locate B. B says 3, 6. 3, 6. So this is our A. Okay, this is our point A. Then point B is 3, 6. So 3 on your what? 3 on your positive x-axis. Okay, and 6 on your what? Positive y-axis. So this is your 6. Okay, and this is your what? Your 3. So you draw it like this. Okay, then like this. So the point where they meet, like this, the point where they meet is called your point B. Exactly. Which is what? Which is 3, 6. Your A is what? Your A is 2, 4. Exactly. The same thing applies to your C. You want to locate your C. Your C is what? Your positive 5, positive x, 5, then negative y, minus 4. So you go to your graph, where is your positive x? This positive x. So you go to your positive x. Can you see it now? Then what is your negative y? Go down, this is your negative y. Is that clear? That's minus 4. Okay? Minus 4. So you trace it like this. Trace it like this. Then you trace it like this. Is that clear? So we have here to be the point where they meet. Is that clear? That is the position of C. The position of C. So this is how to locate your point on the XY plane, the graph. Okay, so the next aspect is how to calculate the gradient. If you are given 2 points, how to calculate the gradient or slope. So the formula for gradient is this. Gradient is gradient and also means slope. Okay, they don't tell with the what? With the letter N is equal to change in y. Change in y over change in x. Use delta y over delta x, representing change in y over change in x. So in other words, gradient m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's the formula for your gradient. So if you are asked now, look at the point you just located. We located points A, B, and C. Now if you're asked to find the distance between, the gradient rather, between A and B, what do? Find the gradient of A and B, line A and B. So it simply means for you to find the gradient, there must be a line connecting the 2 points. So if we have it to be A and we have it to be B, is that clear? So you draw a straight line to meet, to draw the 2 point rather, so they will meet like this. Okay, so this is line AB. Exactly, the gradient of the 2 points. Exactly. So in this aspect, we are learning how to calculate the gradient between 2 points on your Cartesian plane. All right. So once we calculate the gradient of AB, this is the line AB. Okay. So you write NAB is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right. Which one is our x1? Which one is our x2, which one is our y1, which is our y2. So you bring out the 2 points here, we write it out. We have A, 2, 4. Then we have B, which is what? 3, 6. Is that clear to you? Alright, so what is your, okay, so we have this to be A and this is the B. So how do you get, what's your x1, the y1? So you put it like this. So what I'm doing, open bracket, you write x1, x y1, x1, y1. Then you close the bracket. Then for your second coordinate, that's the second point, you have this to be x2, y2. Is that clear? So what can you deduce from this expression? You can see the equal to sign. It simply means that the x1 is your 2. x1 is your 2. Okay? While your y1 is your what? Is your 4. Your y1 is your what? Is your 4. Is that clear? Then your x2 is your what? Is your 3. Alright? While your y2 is your what? Your y2 is your what? Is your 6. That's it. So how do we get the gradient now? So the gradient AB is equals to y2 minus y1. So what's your y2? Your y2 is 6. 6 minus, what's your y1? Your y1 is 4. Minus 4 over x2. What's the x2? 3. 3 minus, what's the x1? The x1 is 2. Minus 2. So gradient AB is equals to 6 minus 4. That's what? 2 over 3 minus 2. That's what? 1. So the gradient AB is equals to what? Is equals to 2. Is that clear? Alright. So what if you are asked to calculate the gradient? You're asked to calculate the gradient of AC, line AC. Okay? So this is point C. Is that clear? And this is point A. So you connect them together. Alright. Okay. Alright, don't mind it. It's supposed to be a straight line. So we have the line AC. Is that clear? Alright, so for your AC now, since you name this one x1, y1, okay, this x2, y2. But in this case now, we're not comparing our A with our what? We're not taking rather the A and the C rather. Okay, so it's going to be, this will now be your x2, so that'll be your what? Your y2. So it's going to be, let me write it here. So we have, I have to erase this, okay. Let me erase this. So we have the gradient AC, is equal to what is your y2. So you write it in, right? A in bracket 2, 4 is equals to x1, y1. Then we have C 5, minus 4 is equals to what? x2, y2. Okay. So from here we have that our x1 is equals to 2, then our y1 is equals to 4, then our x2 is equals to 5, and our y2 is equals to minus 4. Is that clear? So you have this, okay? So from the formula, we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what is your y2? Your y2 is minus 4, okay, minus. So what is your y1? Your y1 is 4, okay, over, so what is your x1? Your x1, your x2 is 5. And what's your x1? Your x1 is what? Is 2. Alright, so minus 4 minus 4, that gives us minus 8 over 5 minus 2, and that's 3. Is that clear? Alright, so your gradient is what? Minus 8 over 3. Alright, so that's how to calculate the gradient of two point, or the gradient of a straight line. Is that clear? Of a straight line. Okay, so in this aspect now we're looking at the how to calculate the gradient or find the gradient when you are given the equation of straight lines. Is that clear? Okay, so we have the general formula for it to be y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c. They call this gradient and the what? Y-intercept form. The gradient and the Y-intercept form. So that's what it's called. Gradient and the Y-intercept form. So your Y is your, represent your what? The Y coordinate. Your M represent your what? S coordinate. They're actually variables, is that clear? While your M represent what? The gradient, and C represent the Y-intercept. Is that clear? So the M is the gradient. The M is the gradient. And your C is what? And your C is the what? Is the Y-intercept. The Y-intercept. Okay, so how do we calculate or find gradient when you are given equations of straight line. So we need to apply this formula. Is that clear? So how do we apply the formula? Alright. So, example 1, you have y is equals to 5x plus 4. Then 2, you have 2y is equals to 4x plus 10. Now look at these two questions. Let me add one more. We have y is equals to, let me put 4. So we have 6x minus 5. So you are given this question and you're asked to calculate or find the gradient. Exactly, the gradient and the y-intercept. And some might be asking or wondering what the meaning of y-intercept. So if you have your axis to be like this is your y, this is your x. Exactly. And a straight line crosses the axis. Okay? Now, the point where the line cuts or passes through the y-axis is called the y-intercept. Is that clear? The y-intercept. Okay? And this is represented with what? With the letter C in the formula or the general form of the what equation. So what we have here is this. Now, how do you get the gradient? How do you get the gradient? Okay. Alright. So this is what you do. You write y is equals to 5x plus 4. Then you compare this equation with what you have above, which is y is equals to mx plus c. So by comparing, okay, you take this y as your y above here, this y as your y. Then we take your x as your x, then the m as your 5. Exactly. So the m, 5, and the c as your 4. Therefore, our m is equals to 5, and our c is equals to what? Is equals to 4. That's if we ask to find what? The gradient and the y-intercept. So this is how to get your gradient. We are given an equation. So the m represents the gradient. That means your m is equals to 5. Then your c is equals to what? Plus 4. So this is solution to question 1. Then question 2 says 2y is equals to 4x plus 10. So 2y is equals to 4x plus 10. Alright, so how do you find the what? The gradient. So remember, you have to make this formula, or mean the equation rather, to be in this form. To make this equation to be in this form. So what do you do now? You divide all through by what? By 2 for your y to stand alone. So I will have something similar to this. So divide all through by what? By 2. So you have 2y over 2 is equals to 4x over 2 plus 10 over 2. So what do you have now? These two will cancel the 2. So we have y is equals to 2 in 4. We have 2x plus 2 in what? 10. We have what? The 5. You can see now we now have to be in this form. Y is equals to ms plus c. Y is equals to what? 2s plus 5. So y is equals to mx plus c. Is that clear? So the m here is the 2 and the c here is the 5. Therefore, we have m is equals to 2 and c is equals to what? Is equals to 5. Okay, so let's look at the last example. Let's one more example. So we have 4y is equals to 6s minus 5. 4y is equals to 6s minus what? Minus 5. So what do you do now? You want y to stand alone, so you divide all through by what? By 4. You divide all through by 4, that by whatever you decide y. Okay, so you divide all through by 4. So we have 4y over 4 is equals to 6x over 4 minus 5 over 4. Is that clear? So 4 cancel 4, we have y is equals to, now 2 in 4 is 2, okay? Y 2 in 6 is 3. Is that clear? Alright, so we have 3 over 2x is minus 4 in 5 is actually 1, remember 1 over 4. We can still leave it in this form as minus what? 5 over 4. So when you compare y is equals to what? Y is equals to mx plus c. When you compare, your m will now be what? The 3 over 2, and your c will now be what? The minus 5 over 4. Therefore, m is equals to 3 over 2, which is the gradient, and your c is equals to what? Minus 5 over 4. Is that clear? So this is how to calculate or find the gradient when we are given the equation or equations of straight lines. Is that clear? So let's look at the next aspect, which is how to calculate for the equation of a straight line. Is that clear? How to calculate for or get or find rather the equation of a straight line. Alright, so look at the question. We have to find the equations of the straight lines. Is that clear? What we have there is a point. We're given a point and the gradient. Another point and the gradient. In the last question, and the third question, we have 2 points. We're given 2 points and asked to find the equation of the line joining the 2 points. So what do we do now? Okay, the first thing is this. Is a formula to apply. Okay, if you are given the point and the gradient, the formula to apply is this. You write, y2, or let me put it this way, n, which is your gradient, n, is that clear? Is equals to y minus y1 over x minus x1. Is that clear? So this is the point. Y minus y, this is the formula rather, y minus y1 over x minus x1. What to get the equation. So you can simplify this one by writing cross multiply. So okay, this is over 1, cross multiply, you have n bracket x minus x1 is equals to y minus y1. Is that clear? So in other words, therefore, we have y minus y1 is equals to m in bracket x minus what? x1. Alright, so this is the formula you can apply. Okay? They're the same. So, we have the points. This is 2, 4. So you write for the first question, it's 1. The first question, we have this to be 2, 4 is equals to x1, y1. So that means our x1 is equals to 2 and our y1 is equals to what? Is equals to 4. Then what's our gradient? Our gradient is equals to 2. So by putting the values in the formula, we have y minus, the y1 is what? 4 is equals to m, what's the m2 bracket, what's your x, minus, what's the x1, the x1 is equals to what? Is equals to 2. Is that clear? So what do you do now? You take it to the other side, it becomes y is equals to 2 bracket x minus 2 plus 4. So you open your bracket, y is equals to 2 times x, that's 2x, 2 times minus 2, that's minus 4, plus 4. So y is equals to 2x. So that is your answer. So the equation for the first question is y is equals to 2x. And the second question, that's number 2, says we have b, okay, which is minus 2, 5. Minus 2, 5. Then we have the gradient, m is equals to 1 over 2. So when you compare this, it goes to x1, y1. Alright, so what's the x1? Minus 2, what's your y1? That's 5. That clear to you? So your m is equals to 1 over 2. Alright, so from the formula that says y minus y1 is equals to m bracket x minus x1. So what is your y? That's this is your y1. Your y, we don't know that. Okay, then we have your y1, which is 5. Then your m, 1 over 2 bracket. What's your x? You know. And what's the x1? That's what? That's minus 2. Your x minus 2. So you have to put in bracket minus 2. As you can see. Is that clear to you? Alright, so you have y minus 5 is equal to 1 over 2 bracket x minus times minus will give us what? Plus, and we have our bracket open. Are clear? So the next to do is what? Now, remember we have this to be y minus 5, okay? We have to be y minus 5 is equals to 1 over 2x plus what? 1 over 2x plus 2 bracket. So what do we do now? You cross multiply it with y minus 5 in bracket 2 is equals to x plus 2. Use this to multiply this expression. So you have 2y minus 10 is equals to x plus 2. Okay, so you take your 10 to the other side, becomes 2y is equals to x plus 2 plus what? Plus 10. So your 2y is equals to x plus 12. Now you can leave it in this form, you are correct. Is that clear? But if you want to make it to stand alone, that's the y to stand alone, you can have y is equals to x over 2 plus what? Plus 6. That's if we divide all through by what? We divide all through. If you leave it in this form like this, you are done. Okay? But if you want to go further, you can still do that. So divide all through, okay, by what? By 2. So what will you have? We're going to have 2 y over 2 is equals to x over 2 plus 12 over 2. So we have y is equals to x over 2 plus what? Plus 6. So this is also another answer. Is that clear? This is another answer. But they mean they are the same. So whichever one you got is also correct. Alright, the last one, which is the third question. The third question, I have to erase this, okay? The third question, which is find the equation of the line when you are given 2 points. So what do? Whenever you are given 2 points, you are not going to use this formula to solve. Whenever you are given 2 points, the formula to solve when you are given 2 points, we want to use rather when you are given 2 points is use what's it called? Your y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equals to y minus y1 over x minus what? x1. So this is formula to apply when you are giving 2 points. Is that clear? Alright, so what do you do now? So you write 4, 5, name it as x1, y1, then 2, 6, you name it as what? x2, y2. Is that clear? Alright, so what do we have now? That means we have x1 is equals to 4, okay? Then y1 is equals to 5. Then we have x2 is equals to what? 2. Then what? y2 is equals to what? It's equals to 6. So let's apply the formula. We have y2 is your y2. Is your y2, that's 6 minus y2, that's 6. 6 minus, what is your y1? Your y1 is what? 5. Is that clear? Over, what is your x2? Your x2 is 2. Minus, what's your x1? 4. Is equals to y minus, what's your y1? That's 5. X minus, what's your x1? This one is what? 4. So 6 minus 5, we have 1. 2 minus 4, we have minus 2. Is equals to y minus 5 over x minus 4. Okay, you can put it in bracket. Then the next to do is what? To cross multiply. Okay, so when you cross multiply, you have 1 bracket x minus 4 is equals to minus 2 bracket y minus 5. Okay, 1 times everything, get everything back. 1 minus 4 is equals to minus 2 times y, you have minus 2y. Then minus 2 times minus 5, you have plus 10. So when you collect the like terms, so what do you have? When you collect the like terms, so it will be x minus 4 is equals to minus 2y plus 10. So you take your y to this side, okay, you're going to have x minus 4, okay, plus 2y minus 10 is equals to 0. So we have 2y plus x. When you rearrange 2y plus x, then we have minus 4 minus 10 is equal to 0. So we have 2y plus x, we have minus 14 is equal to 0. Now if you stop here, this is your answer. You are also correct. Is that clear? So I'll copy the end of this section. I hope you really understood everything. Is that clear to you? Alright.